live. All right, welcome to the video here. Today, there was some news released by The Pillar. And, I'm not a huge fan of The Pillar, but they do some good research, I'll give them that. And so I'm going to talk about this article today. I did just post the EBTN episode this morning, but breaking news, the news cycle never stops. In this case, I do want to explain a little bit about what this is. So, Archbishop Gomez, he wanted to talk at the USCCB meeting about denying communion to pro-abortion politicians, especially Joe Biden. And there were a group of cardinals, powerful bishops, Cupich and Tobin in particular, who met with the Vatican and tried to undermine this effort. And they actually got a number of people behind them, and it is 67 bishops, 68, right? 68, I think I'm doing the math correctly. And so it's 47 bishops and 21 auxiliaries. And so that number is actually pretty large, but the 21 auxiliaries is pretty significant too, because, and I'm not going to read a list of the names. That's too many names to read. And I posted the list of the names in the description of the video if you want to take a look at that. I posted the links as well. That's going to be very helpful for you. But if you look at the list of auxiliaries, there's a bunch from Newark. That's Cardinal Tobin's archdiocese. And then there are a ton from Chicago, I think 8, which is actually, it's kind of ridiculous that a diocese would even have 8 auxiliary bishops in the first place. But I think that's, I don't know, I wouldn't imagine they would have any more auxiliary bishops than that in Chicago, but I think that's all of them. Now, I was actually particularly disappointed that the auxiliary of Chicago, Bishop Joseph Perry, signed this letter. There was some discussion about like a little bit of bullying going on with, there was some pressure from some of the corrupt cardinals, some of the powerful cardinals. They tried to pressure other bishops into signing it. And so I wonder if that was the case, because Bishop Joseph Perry, he goes around and just says a bunch of Latin masses. So I was a little disappointed to see that. Now, the notable names, obviously, the corruption network bishops, Stowe, McElroy, Cupich, Tobin, and you can read down the list. And there's some bishops who are not as well known, but maybe they're looking to work their way up the ladder. And this is a way to say, hey, I want a promotion, and to let the Vatican know you want a promotion. And so if you take a look at some of the younger bishops, that might be the case for them. But some of the notable exclusions here, Bishop Barron did not sign this letter. So I don't know what that means. Maybe it means that he doesn't want to he doesn't want to oppose his actual Bishop Gomez. But yeah, take a look at the list of names. Now, there was opposition to this. Now, and Cardinal Dolan actually removed his name. He said, yeah, decided to remove it. Not all the bishops knew exactly what it was, but you can read between the lines. I think if you're a member of the USCCB and you're not skeptical of anything that Gregory, Tobin, and Cupich try to collaborate on, then you're just naive. I'm sorry to say it. And it really is sad to say. But there was an opposition to this effort to derail the discussion on denying Biden communion. Cordileone, Archbishop Cordileone of San Francisco, he was one who was, he said it was totally unacceptable that these bishops would try to undermine this discussion. And I'm going to take a look at the list of other names who supported him. I think there was Aquila of Denver, Bishop Michael Olson of Fort Worth, Texas. He's an interesting character, but he supported Cordileone, and Paprocki, obviously. I'm sure Strickland's in this camp as well. I don't think his name is listed here, but also Sample, Archbishop Sample. And so, the sides are lining up here. And let me see if there's anything about pressuring. I don't know. I don't know about this, but Coeur d'Leon is he was actually pretty disappointed. He gave a long interview to the Pillar about this, and but for the bishops who supported, uh, tabling this effort, what's the excuse for them? Like what? So if you're a bishop, your job is to defend the Catholic faith. I don't like how are you going to defend the Catholic faith by ignoring the major problem that we have in our Catholic Church right now? Joe Biden receiving communion, making a big deal about it. Um, how what's ignoring the problem going to do? How's it going to deepen the faith of your followers, of your lay people in your diocese? And so I want to read a quote. Bishop William Joensen of Des Moines, Iowa, he issued a statement. He was a signer of this letter to undermine the pro-life effort, by the way. He said, in my internal communication among bishops, I want to ensure that a well-considered process is pursued that will advance our communal commitment to the Eucharist and all it entails, as well as strengthen our unity among our Episcopal Conference on this vital subject, and also respect the counsel from Cardinal Ladaria of the CDF. So, okay, we're talking about blind obedience to the Vatican. We're talking about accompaniment, unity, dialogue, all these ridiculous buzzwords. We don't hear salvation of souls. We don't hear mortal sin. We don't hear excommunication. What's the deal? Like these. So I titled this video "Biden Bishops" because these are the Biden bishops, and until they publicly retract their signature, they're the Biden bishops, and they're the ones who are opposing the Catholic faith right now. This is absolutely, you know, and like I said before, these corrupt cardinals, Gregory, Cupich, Tobin, they're part of the McCarrick network, or at least Vigano has suggested they're part of the McCarrick network. I can't prove that, but you can see what they're preaching. They're promoting Father James Martin. They're promoting all kinds of this anti-Catholic stuff, and then here we go. We're saying, okay, we really shouldn't focus on abortion. All right, well, what's a priority at the USCCB meeting? Like, what's so pressing that we can't talk about an anti-Catholic president? And there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for this. And even Coeur d'Leon, he gave an interview with Eric Sammons. Eric Sammons asked him point blank, will you deny communion to Nancy Pelosi? And he said, well, dialogue, we have to be pastoral. Okay, you know what? But that's really disappointing. But at the same time, Coeur d'Leon's basically leading this Catholic resistance really against the corruption network. So I don't know what's going to happen. 47 bishops, like 47 real bishops, that's pretty disappointing. But that's where we're at right now. So as far as the USCCB meeting, I've been really busy, and I'm going to be very busy. But I will be covering the USCCB meeting. I like to post video clips, and this one is shaping up. Is shaping up to be a pretty good showdown. And it's the powerful cardinals who oppose the Catholic faith versus a group of tentative. We'll call them tentative Catholic cardinals. They support the Catholic faith, but they're very tentative. And Coeur d'Leon is leading the way. So we got to rally behind these guys. Now the USCCB meeting, from what I understand, it's going to be June 16th, 17th, and 18th. That's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I think the first 2 days there are the open discussions, and I think the final day there's not going to be a whole lot of discussion. But like I said, I watch these things. It's really boring. This one might be a little exciting, but the video clips, I post several video clips, but it doesn't even amount to anywhere close to the whole live stream of the conference. Now, it's going to be via Zoom, so everyone's going to get limited opportunities to speak, and there's not going to be really any confrontations that I would expect, just because it's via Zoom and you're just kind of watching a screen. But this weekend leading up into the USCCB meeting, we'll see what I have for this channel. But it is going to be a showdown. So I'm actually, I don't know. I don't know if I'm excited or if I'm just kind of like exhausted thinking about it. Um, but I think that's all. That's all I have to say about that. I got kind of fired up when I saw the list of bishops. I'm so glad the Pillar was able to obtain this information where we can name names, see whose names to add to the corruption network. And like I said, I think that especially with the auxiliaries and maybe some of the real bishops, this could be an issue of pressure. They could feel a lot of pressure, and so they decide to sign it, which is not a good excuse. And you can see that Cardinal Dolan removed his name. But in the meantime, let's just make a note of these bishops who signed this letter, and we can ask for them to resign. I don't know if signing this letter acknowledges their opposition to pro-life. I think certainly indicates that pro-life isn't a priority. Okay, one more bishop who I didn't see his name on this list: Archbishop Nelson Perez of Philadelphia. That's an interesting name to note because it seemed like he was a very young bishop. He got promoted to a kind of a powerful position, and yeah, it's just an interesting name that he didn't sign this list. I don't know what went into these bishops' decision to sign or not sign the list, but we need to certainly let our voices be known, let these bishops know that this is not acceptable to sign this list. Thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.